As the King has often said, I don't want my children and their children to look back and say, you knew what was happening in the state of the world and you didn't do anything about it. The legacy landowner movement could restore that balance with nature and make beautiful places that future generations will feel proud of.
They're not just plots, they're not just areas of land. In those plots, you're building homes.
It is something that is special. You've had a part in people having a better life than they might have otherwise have had.
That's the most inspiring thing about talking to people in places like Poundbury, Torner Grain, the new legacy developments. It's the stories.
It's about the people, it's about the place.
It's a very peaceful community, it feels very safe.
Positive, proactive community.
We love living in Torner Grain. It's a really friendly place.
More than just a housing scheme.
It provokes thought, definitely.
And we love it here.
The design is very much centred on maximising opportunities for people to meet each other.
My family's here, my wife, my kids. When we went on holiday,
We couldn't wait to be back.
We couldn't wait. There was no one waving at me or saying good morning to me. We run 3 businesses in Poundbury.
We do feel a sense of belonging and definitely feels home.
I changed my job over here to Poundbury. It's a very positive change.
It's very easy to build a house, but it's not easy to build a community.
Typically, there's a housing estate that's built and that's it. It's incredibly inefficient and bad for the environment. It's costly and it's not good for people's lives.
The Building a Legacy network is a network of landowners looking to build more sustainable communities.
It gave us the confidence really to proceed.
And I think a problem shared can be a problem halved.
Everybody has the right to the same high quality of the environment, no matter what economic background you're from.
I like the way that social houses are mixed in with the private houses. To be offered a Guinness Trust house to rent was absolutely the icing on the cake for me, because it was a secured tenancy that I could keep providing a nice safe roof over my head and my daughters until we felt strong enough to let somebody else have the benefit of that house.
Loop are an industrial automation specialist. We're an innovative robotics and engineering company. Companies like Loop, coupled with Poundbury, is really creating social mobility. It's giving opportunities for people that might not have been there before.
When you live in a place that's representative of all of society, it tends to breed more tolerance.
You're not passing through. You set roots down here. We've got over 250 businesses and about 2,600 jobs that have been created here.
Worldwide, global aerospace companies are our customers. We have got such cutting-edge equipment here and knowledge and skills. In this factory in Poundbury, we started the business, there was just 3 people. Since then, we have grown and moved up into Poundbury. We've grown to plus 80 people now.
If you are making affordable workspaces next door to housing, people will do all sorts of weird and wonderful and creative things. We need to get over this zoned way of thinking and get back to mixed-use placemaking.
Unlike the multinationals that maybe don't have the time to spend with the community, we've got a different approach. If we've got prescriptions that are maybe a few doors down, I'll go on my way home.
And I think it's that strength of community that binds the place together that means people want to live here, people want to start a business or grow a business here.
I've lived in cities and I felt very isolated, even though I was surrounded by thousands of people. Living here, I feel more connected.
We have allotment up there and I grow lots of vegetables. And mainly when I go there, it's like so many people I met.
Walkability and walkable communities for us are absolutely fundamental to this whole legacy proposition. Unsurprisingly, the health benefits are huge.
You can sort of spend whole weekends and never go out in the car. Such a nice space to live in. It does make you feel quite positive.
The way Village has been designed to sort of facilitate cycling and walking around was one of the main reasons I was sort of attracted to it in the first place.
They're so safe, they whiz along on those bikes and they stop at roads and they know everyone.
I've heard it said that it takes a village to raise a child.
Being able to raise families in a safe, supportive community environment can have impacts then generationally onwards.
If you've got something that's locally distinctive, you feel when it's in harmony with its place because it belongs, and you likewise feel like you belong.
The architecture and the fact that it's so different from most new build developments was one of the main attractions.
When we first came to look at the place and we were looking for a house, we drove through it and it was an immediate like, wow, this is a place where we've got to try and live. I have trouble getting around a little bit, and the way the place is built has made it much easier for me personally to be part of the community.
It's about a third green space, and that's intentional, both for amenity and ecology.
It's just a really charming place, great architecture, lots of green open space.
It's all about respecting the place as well as the people.
The planting, everything they've done, you know, they've tried to attract wildlife.
Swifts and swallows and house martins. It's lovely to see them fluttering about the village, and I hope they continue to come back every year to Tornagreen to make Tornagreen their homes.
Stewardship's really about caring for places over the long term to ensure that you don't take out more than you put in.
It was the first big community event. People just having a great time, it's a lovely day. And I suddenly just hit me like a sledgehammer. This wouldn't have been happening if it wasn't for us.
I mean, as a landowner, we have a vested interest in the success of this community. So rather than selling out to a volume house builder in the early years or indeed pre-planning, we have agency of this process. We retain control. You're not just looking for today's profit at the expense of tomorrow's. You are looking at high yielding, longer term growth.
It makes a very compelling commercial sense.
This is the new standard.
A lot of the time the focus is on how things look, and actually what you really need to do is close your eyes and think about how you want something to feel.
It puts the wind in your sails when people come up and tell you how happy they are to live here or how well their business is going.
And you think, boy, this is definitely worth it. You know, this really is worth it.
I would like to think that more and more landowners will feel proud and want to do the right thing for future generations. So if we can build more legacy developments, we can create a country that's very, very special indeed. Go and visit some of these legacy developments and have a proper look at them and ask yourself, is there not a better way of developing?